Hello everyone, welcome back to Too Much Bricks. This is Kyle, and in today's video finally is another update on my Mandalorian mock Tython. This episode is titled Frameworks, which is what we're going to be working on in this video, and I'll talk more about what that truly means when we actually take a look at the mock. I'm over here in my review studio because my normal studio where this setup is under renovation right now. There's a lot of Lego stuff on it, so I'm trying to clear that off, and I didn't really have time, and I really wanted to get this video out, so I'm just over here temporarily in my review studio. But before we take a look at the mock, as I said, I'll explain more what the title means when we actually take a look. I also did hit a small speed bump, which we'll talk about more when we actually take a look at the mock. But we're actually going to be doing some work in this video, which is definitely awesome. And I've got a lot of progress done on the mock. I know it's been at least a month since the last update, but it's not like I haven't got any progress done since the last update, because I did just go back and rewatch the last update that I had, and I've gotten so much progress done. It doesn't look like much to me because I've been, used to it and I've been doing it daily. But now that I go back and look at the last that you guys saw it, it's definitely going to look much better than it originally did. So I'm extremely happy with the amount of progress that's got done, and I'm hoping to get a lot more done in this video. But without further ado, I do want to say subscribe, drop a like if you haven't. Head on over to Providence Brick Exchange, check out our sponsor's website, or if you're local, check out the store in person, located in Smithfield, Rhode Island. You'll see all the information on your screen right there. Um, and yeah, let's get into this Tython update, episode 4. Alright guys, so we're over here at the mock itself, Tython, and I just have the camera set on the blueprints, if you will, that I had drawn up a while ago. So basically, give you guys a look at that. I got my list up there and a list of parts on the bottom, but I'm just have it on here so I can talk about it a little bit and then give you the grand reveal. As I said, I have gotten a lot of progress done on this mock. I also recently did or was able to pick up a Trouble on Tatooine, a newly released Mandalorian set, which is the last one I needed to complete my collection of all the Mandalorian sets released at the time of recording of this video. So I'm extremely happy about that, and definitely awesome to get the new complete Beskar Mandalorian included in this awesome mock. So that's definitely going to be in there, and you'll see it when we take a walkthrough of the mock here. As I said, we'll be working on the framework, which I'll show you in a minute, and I will let you guys know about the speed bump right now as we take a look at the mock. Without further ado, let's get into it. Alright everyone, so here is the mock. This is definitely 100% the biggest mock I've ever worked on and ever made to date. Now, this is built on the exact same table that Endgame was on, and a couple of you might be like, well, Endgame was the same exact size, but this is just a lot more parts. As you can see, the thickness of the actual mock, and in length, because Endgame actually went up to about that marker right there where my fingers are, and then there was a second mock on this entire section right here. So Endgame kind of only went up to there. So now this is the entire table, and this is definitely one of the biggest mocks I've ever worked on, but I just given you guys a little overview there, and now let me go ahead, zoom in, and talk about some minor details. So in the last update, I only had about this section done for actual terrain work. As you can see, I've gotten a lot more done. I'm loving how it's looking. I think it looks very detailed, and although it does kind of look like steps, I had tried some different types of rock work, and I had already just kind of designed it around this style of it kind of just gently sloping down. So I like it. I think I'm happy with it personally, so I think I'm going to stick with it. One thing I did change that that actually got recommended to me to actually make it look a lot better is, instead of having the brown plates, at least on this portion, I did them in light gray, so you don't see the brown plates, sticking out in the one color base, so it all just blends in and it looks like a nice slope instead of, like, the dark brown stairs, if you will. So as I said, I think that definitely makes it look much better, as well as on this side. So basically, what I'm talking about framework is, as you can see, I have all the interior framework, if you will, where the terrain is going to be on top over there. So all that is going to get covered up to look just like this, as well as on this side. And I didn't get to finish this side, so I'm definitely going to make sure that I get that done in this video. So that's why this video is entitled Framework. That's what we'll be working on. You can see I still got a lot of parts up on the top over here. Now getting into some more changes over here. I'm not sure if this was in the last episode. Again, that was a month ago. It might have been, but if it wasn't, as I said, this is all nice and finished up here for the valley, if you will, where the terrain will be. And obviously, I'll do some finishing, texturing when I have, like, all the parts to finish up the slopes themselves. I added a little pond here. I really like how that looks, mimicking one I had made a while back. So I think that definitely adds for detail for the planet itself. Aside from that, moving up to the top here, I actually have integrated my terrain bit, for those who have seen the last episode, into the actual mock. So I think that definitely looks nice and detailed and looks pretty nice, as well as some of the original terrain coming up to blend in some more jagged slopes and rocks over there. Got my new Mandalorian from the Trouble on Tatooine set, as I said. I think that he looks really nice. Got a little boulder there. Got some more foliage coming around, and have integrated this whole portion in the actual mock, because that was kind of floating around. In the last couple of episodes, and I got my custom tree there, but this is what I mimicked the other one off of, and I just really like how those look. And going up to the seeing stone, I currently have Grogu in the pillars taken down just as I work and design a little bit, and that's what the major portion of it looks like, the big platform. And then it's going to slope down into the valley and rise back up again, but not as high and not as long. So as I said, I do have all my parts here, and as I mentioned, the speed bump that I hit was, unfortunately, when I went to make my Bricklink order, the parts that I needed were out of stock. They didn't have them, which were more of these 4x4 light or dark brown to finish up the terrain here and on the other side. And I definitely wanted to order some more slopes. As far as plants go, I've shown you this cup in some other episodes. I'm pretty sure I'm set with those. I could be wrong. So I haven't really started any foliage work, just here to get the feel for it, but not as much foliage work as I um, eventually want to actually do, because I want to get the major portion of it done, like getting all this terrain in at least, and the framework of the actual mock done before I start adding the little nitty-gritty details. Now, I have been bored recently, so what I started to do was some finishing touches for the blending into the bottom where the slope meets the base plate, if you will, which is only a plate high, and then slopes up to 1 brick, 2 brick, 3 brick, 4 brick, and I believe this is 5 bricks high. Yes, that's 5 bricks high, and then this major portion is 8. So as I said, standing back at the whole thing as much as I can to kind of show you what it looks like there, the overall design that I had drawn up there, the major portion sloping down and the smaller portion. Pleased with how that came out. It was different from the original design that I had drawn up, so I'm really liking it much better. I did decide to actually move the pillar section. As you can see in the drawing there, it was in the middle. I decided to move it back, actually, just to be a little bit more accurate and to get more room for the actual battle scene. But I'm not sure what I'm going to do. As I said, I definitely need those in dark brown, because you are going to see a little bit, as you can see, through the grass and the rocks. And some other parts that I needed were some tan 1x2s, as you see right here, and along with the dark brown. So I'm hoping, if I check Bricklink in the next couple of weeks, that they might be back in stock. I'm not sure. I hope that they will be, or that I'm going to have to go to some actual in-person shopping, either at Lego or at some other private companies. But definitely going to be hitting our sponsor, Providence Brick Exchange. Definitely going to be looking for some parts there, again, for all your Lego needs. But that was really the major speed bump that I hit, and I have officially done, besides the work I'm doing in today's video. Once I get this framework in, which will mimic that over there, I will really have done all that I can for now until I get the parts. So I'm going to go ahead and put the framework in for that. I hope I have enough bricks, because I did take up a lot to do that section and a lot to do the overall base of the actual mock, continuing all around there. So I hope I have enough, but as I said, let me go ahead and put that in start building that, and then we'll talk a little bit more and wrap up this episode. Alright guys, so I got the framework done. I've officially had enough bricks to do it, so I'm really happy about that. Now that I got both sides done, so the frame of the actual mock is now completely done, and as I said, now I have done all that I can for the mock itself. Obviously I could start texturing this part and start placing figures and start doing more foliage and start finishing up that part, but I don't want to do that until I get the slopes finished. So I don't know what I'm going to do. I definitely want to pick up some more 1x2 tans and some dark brown or light brown plates, as I said, to finish the terrain for the slopes themselves. And yeah, that's pretty much it for this update. I know there was a lot to talk about and a lot to catch up on. Don't believe I have anything else to say, although I do have my custom troop transport off to the corner there, just because I took it out of here to give you guys a better look at the mock itself. But that's going to be going in as one of the last finishing touches. If you haven't seen my review on that mock, definitely be sure to go check that out. And as I said, I'm extremely happy to have the new official complete Beskar Mandalorian, and I do have my cup of characters over here. So I got my Boba, my Grogu over there, and all the other characters. So aside from that, as I said, I don't believe this was in the episode, but I do have Mando's jetpack down there. As I said, I was bored, so I just started detailing the transition between the slope and the valley, if you will, which is only, as I said, a plate high. So I just put the backpack there where he surrenders to Boba, if you will, and lays it down. So I really like how that looks for some reason. I think it's pretty accurate. But aside from that, that's pretty much it for this update. Let me give you guys one last look at the whole thing. And yeah, I'm definitely going to be having to make some part orders. I can continue to, put some plants down if I wanted to, but I really can't do much without the slopes and the dark brown plates and the 1x2 tans. I definitely, as I said, need to get some more slopes. I don't have a lot left. There's only a little bit in this cup, and again, I have to, once I get all the brown plates put on either side, I'm going to have to put a lot of slopes at different lengths just to make it look like it does here. But if I kind of just focus on this point and I don't look at the unfinished part, I think that it just looks so nice there. Really smooth and nicely detailed. As I said, definitely one of the biggest and best mocks that I've ever made. And it's got a good weight to it. I've slid it off the table a couple of times to kind of just feel the weight of it. If I push it here, it's definitely very solid. But once I actually get the framing of it all covered up and all the slopes on, I'm definitely going to be looking more finished. But I'm really liking how much progress I've got done. I'm liking how it's looking. Definitely think this is 100 times better than Navarro. And if you haven't seen that mock series, Building Navarro in LEGO, definitely be sure to go check that out. And yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and head back to the studio where we'll talk about the episode and wrap up this video. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I do hope you found this helpful. If you did, leave it down in the comment section down below if you enjoyed and if you spotted any cool building techniques. As I said, I'm definitely happy to be able to get this video out for you guys after a month of no updates on the mock itself. I've just been really backed up with a bunch of new Christmas hauls, and a bunch of new sets from Christmas, set reviews, other type of LEGO related videos and other stuff outside of the channel, personal stuff and whatnot, school and other types of, things that take up time. But I'm glad to finally be back and uploading once again. I did a couple weeks ago go on vacation, so there was no uploads then, and then I believe I only had one upload on my Trouble on Tatooine set, and so now I'm glad that I have this video out for you guys. As I said, hope you enjoyed. Definitely happy with the progress that I've got done on the mock and the little progress that we got done today in the actual video of finishing up the framework. So I'm definitely happy about that. I think it's looking great. As I said, with a little speed bump, I'm not sure what I'm going to do, but Hopefully, I'll be back with some more updates on this mock, and I'll be able to eventually get the parts in somehow. As I said, Bricklink at the time of recording of this video did not have any, so I'm probably going to have to, as I said, do some in-person shopping. But I personally am going to definitely 100% be checking out our sponsor, Providence Brick Exchange. Definitely be sure to go check out his store if you are local, owned by my good friend Clint. Great guy, great store, great prices for all your Lego needs. You'll see the information right there. And as I said, definitely be sure to go check them out if you are local, or go ahead, feel free, click my channel icon, go to my About section for a quick bio on myself and him, and a link to his site right there. Thank you all for watching. As I said, definitely be sure to subscribe, drop a like if you haven't. Stay tuned for more uploads coming up soon, and I'll see you in the next video. Until then, keep building.